Hi everyone, this is my week 2 discussion, and we were told to choose which of the two theologians from the reading which one caught our attention the most. And for me, I'd say that the one that caught my attention was probably Augustine. And he was interesting to me for a lot of different reasons. Just his whole story was quite interesting. But I think the biggest thing that immediately made me interested was how he had multiple different beliefs before he came to Christianity. Like it mentioned Manichaeism and Neoplatonism, which was a form of Gnosticism, and how after becoming a Christian, he wrote about those different beliefs that he had, and like his whole life before that, and also like in his different confessions, in Augustine's Confessions, which I think was really interesting and compelling. And it's also, he's just an interesting person because his writings, the Augustine Confessions, are such well-known pieces. Like I know they're even like read in like the honors seminar and stuff. So it's just interesting that they're still being read today and they're still relevant, and people are reading them in today's world, and they're still able to tell a lot about life back then. And I also, I know I mentioned that, the different religions before he became a Christian was something that was really interesting. And I think kind of like the theologian from last week, he also, Irenaeus last week was, that we learned about last week, was going against Gnosticism, and Augustine this week was part of he had belief in Gnosticism before he became a Christian, which I thought was an interesting connection. And one of the quotes that I found from the reading that I thought was really interesting and kind of summarized his teachings was this quote: "Over the course of his life and ministry, Augustine helped to shape the Church's beliefs on matters as essential as sin, salvation, the doctrine of the Trinity, and the reality of evil, often in the midst of great controversy." So I think that just summarizes like the huge impact that he had and how he was able to give input on so many different huge parts of the Christian faith, which I thought was so important. And one connection that I had with the lectures was that the lectures talked about the Trinity and other big pieces of Christian doctrine, and Augustine was one of the people that like helped make a universal view of the Trinity that aligned with the Bible. So I thought that was something really interesting, and a connection between what we learned in the lectures and also what Augustine did, and I thought that was super interesting. So yeah, that's why I thought he was interesting.